How's it going? It's Trippy Joe coming to you with the Trippy Show. Um, Today I wanted to go over my experiences with psychedelics, starting with pot, going up to mushrooms and LSD. I have done each substance, and I'll start off with marijuana, or pot, whatever you want to call it. When I was younger, I decided to try pot, and I remember the first time I smoked, it was a joint, and I smoked the doobie up, and halfway through, I felt like I was tripping, and you never get the same effect after the first time you smoke. The first time is the most intense. After that, it's just mellow. Marijuana is a very safe drug, and it is also a cure for a lot of anxiety issues, depression, pain. The list goes on and on and on. But the best part about it is that it opens your mind up to see a lot more than you normally would see, because when you're high or under the influence, unlike alcohol, you think about just all sorts of different ideas. And the same goes for when tripping on mushrooms. Your mind tends to come up with great ideas if you use it properly, and that's the key. A lot of people don't use the drugs properly. When people take acid and go to a party, that is not using it correctly. You should not take LSD or acid to get high and go to a party. That's asking to have a bad trip. I say that it's used for a tool to get in touch with yourself and get in touch with nature and unlock your mind, and just use that time to think about a lot and where you are in life and where you want to go. And if you use it right, you will have a great trip. But if you go to a party and you're tripping out, there's going to be a bunch of people there, and maybe you run into somebody you don't want to see, then you have a very high chance of having a bad trip. Because when you're tripping, you get vibes, and you want good vibes. That's why they say to have a sitter like a good friend to watch over you while you're tripping. But for me, I usually like to trip alone, just so I could take the time to think about everything and, come up with new ideas. Steve Jobs, rest in peace, Steve Jobs, but he was a great man. Hold on. Excuse me. But Steve Jobs said the three most important things in his life was his wife, his job, and LSD. Now, right now, to record this, I am using my iPad. Now, somebody brilliant enough to create an iPad, which is basically, a computer that you hold in your hand. It's amazing, and it can do so many things. People don't even need computers now. And then he also came out with the iPhone, and Apple has always been better than the Windows computers. And no, I am not an Apple fanboy or whatever. I just know that Apple computers are better. I've had Windows and it messes up on me, but at the same time, Bill Gates has also taken LSD. And another thing, the guy who created the computer mouse, he was also into LSD. Now, that right there tells me something, that the two people who invented computers, they both took LSD. Is it a coincidence that they came up with the idea to invent a computer? Or did it possibly make them more creative and make them want to achieve a goal in their life? I really think it did. And I think if Steve Jobs and Bill Gates never did LSD, then we wouldn't have the technology that we have today. And I think that any psychedelic that they did or other people have done has played a huge role in technology alone. I mean, all the stuff we have. Like I said, if you use the psychedelics properly, then you're on for a good trip and a mind-opening experience. But when they become misused, then you could have a bad trip and you won't learn anything from it. So, I mean, if you're interested in psychedelics, I would say start out with marijuana. You know, that right there is very mind-opening, and it's a great tool. But that could be abused just like food could be abused or anything else could be abused. But I will tell you this, it is non-addictive. People will say all day, oh, marijuana is addictive, this and that. Well, I've been smoking marijuana or pot or weed, whatever you want to call it, since I was about 12 years old. Well, guess what? I'm 22 now, and I haven't smoked it in over 3 months. I have had not one withdrawal symptom or anything. I can put it down whenever I want. And I've been smoking cigarettes for years, and right now I have the e-cigarette because I'm trying to get off the nicotine. So, marijuana is not addicting. No psychedelics, in fact, are addicting. I mean, maybe physically people can become addicted because it is very interesting to see what you learn from your experiences. But as long as used properly, I think it is definitely, in my mind, a highly recommended experience. Well, on to a new topic. You guys have a great day. It's the Trippy Joe Show.